friends, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. Oh. Okay, well, now I have a dog on my lap for this video. So today I will be talking about my 5-star reads so far from 2025. Okay, yep, bye. Today I wanted to share my five-star reads from 2025. That's a lot of fives. These books absolutely blew me away, and I'm so excited to talk to you about them. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, so that way we can be book besties. All right, let's get right into it. Book number 1, I listened to on audio, so I don't have the physical copy, but it's House of My Mother by Shari Franke. First of all, I highly recommend the audiobook. Shari narrates it, so it's really good. This is in fact a memoir and was my first nonfiction read of the year, so I'm proud of myself for that one. This is me patting myself on the back. This one is emotional. It's hard to read, hard to listen to, especially if you know the story of the 8 passengers. Shari Franke is the oldest daughter of the 8 passengers family. They were very popular family vloggers back in the day. In this book, she reveals the truth behind the camera about her mother's abuse, about just filming YouTube family creator kind of culture, I guess. But she also goes deeper and shares more about her own fight for freedom outside of just the restraints of the family vlogging channel. This book is raw, it's real, it's heartbreaking. Hearing Shari read it herself makes you tear up a bit for sure. If you've followed the drama of the 8 passengers at all, I would highly recommend reading this book. I know that there's a Hulu documentary that was recently released. I haven't watched that yet, but I definitely want to. But I think reading this book, buying the book, however you want to consume it, I guess, really is the best way to support Shari and support the family, the kids that are now growing up post all of the abuse. And there just are a lot of other platforms that are taking advantage of the situation and trying to grow from it. So being able to directly support Shari and her story, just support Shari, I think is the best way to go about it. So if you are interested in consuming content about it, I would definitely recommend anything that any of the children are directly involved in. I know Chad was involved in the Hulu documentary, so I don't know. Those are my thoughts. The book was very well written. If you know anything about the family, about the lore, this is a look inside, the truth, which was just eye-opening. And I don't know, as a nosy person, this was just really satisfying to be able to go into and hear directly from Shari on all of this stuff. But yeah, very interesting read. Highly recommend if you are interested. On a less serious note, my next 5-star read was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. If you have seen any of my content before, this should not be a surprise to you. I rated this book 6 stars. I loved it so much. This is everything that I needed from the next book in this series. There's going to be 5. This is book number 3, so it's everything that I needed. If you don't already know, the first book in this series is Fourth Wing, which I'm sure you've probably heard of, and I highly recommend. It has dragons and magic. It's very high stakes. It's fast-paced. It's really good. I highly recommend. I've talked a lot about this book already on my channel. I have a couple videos, I think, where I'm discussing it. So I'm not going to go too in depth here, but I think that this was the perfect 3rd book in the series. Of course, the ending was, again, another massive cliffhanger, but it was a lot more palatable, whereas in the end of Iron Flame, I was not okay, and the end of Fourth Wing, I was, again, not okay, waiting for the next books. But this one, I'm kind of content. I am still very curious as to what happens next, but I'm not dying inside. If then, hopefully someone can understand that. I loved the adventuring that goes on in this book. I loved how much of the world we are now learning about in this book. And yeah, I feel like a lot was revealed in here. Of course, it has Rebecca's classic cryptic writing where so many things we don't know why it happened or what's going on, but that is just classic Rebecca at this point. So again, 5 stars. I love this book. I ate it up. It's everything that I needed. I do highly, highly recommend this series. Now that I'm looking at my stack of books here, I think that if you follow along my channel at all, any of my content, none of these should be a surprise to you. So maybe you can even guess while you're watching this, guess which ones I'm going to talk about next. But my next 5-star of the year was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is a steamy college romance with sports and STEM ? Sticking to Ali Hazelwood's classic writing, I guess, she always does incorporate some STEM in her novels, so both of the main characters, female and the male main character, are both science majors, pre-med potentially. I don't know. I do think that this book has the perfect mix of sports. She is a diver, he is a swimmer. Science, they're both pre-med, and romance. This is the steamiest of books that Ali Hazelwood has written, so keep that in mind if you've read any of her other books. Like I said, the female main character, Scarlett, is a platform diver, and the male main character, Lucas, is a world champion swimmer. Their relationship starts off with a secret fling, but it slowly and surely evolves with each chapter. This book is definitely full of tension, banter, and moments that will make your heart race. If you love a steamy sports romance or a secret relationship trope, I would highly, highly recommend giving this one a try. Switching gears completely again, my next 5-star read was Beartown by Fredrik Backman. This book is an absolute masterpiece, if I say so myself. It is very different from any of the other books that I've already talked about. This is a contemporary fiction. It is heartbreaking, heartwarming, emotional, and will potentially destroy you in the best way. This is a story of a small town that relies very heavily on the success of their junior hockey team. The hockey team winning the championship means bringing in new jobs for the town and just overall helps the town quite a bit. So all of the adults are putting a lot of pressure on this team to win the championship. But things go terribly wrong when a single violent act shakes the community to its core. The characters, the emotions, the heartbreak, this book has it all. This is the type of book that will make you continue thinking about the characters, the town, just the events, everything that happened for so long after you finish the book. Definitely check the content warnings before you get into this because there are some pretty sensitive subjects being discussed, so just look at that before you dive into it. Basically, anything bad that could happen to a human person happens in this book, which I don't want that to deter you, but I do think that's not something that I knew going into it, and I wish that I had known that. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. But again, absolutely love this book. 5 stars. I do highly recommend. For my most recent 5 stars, I actually don't know how to pronounce the author's name, so I'm gonna do my best, but I apologize in advance if I absolutely butcher it. The latest 5-star that I've read was Heavenly Bodies by Imani, I think. If you like a dark magical fantasy with the enemies to lovers trope, I would highly recommend picking this book up. I'm gonna read this bit so that way I don't say any of it wrong, but the female main character, Alara, is cursed by a prophecy and is caught in a world ruled by cruel gods called the stars. Alara has to flee into the arms of her enemy to save herself from the stars trying to kill her. She has to flee to an enemy kingdom to gain protection against the stars. This is a slow burn romance. It also has the touch her and die trope, also the who did this to you trope. So good. Also, she is the one that has shadow powers and not him, which I absolutely loved that. This story is full of magic, danger, and romance, obviously. Also, the banter in this is chef's kiss. It's so good. Highly, highly, highly recommend. I mean, all of these books, I highly recommend. But especially this one, I think. I don't know, I loved it. But yeah, that is it. Those are all of the 5-star reads that I have so far from 2025. If you had asked me prior to planning this video how many 5 stars I had, I would have told you that I thought I had a lot. Turns out I only have 5. But I have rated quite a few books 4.5 stars, so maybe that's why I thought I had more 5 stars. Kind of surprised I only had 5. It is only April, so plenty of time to find some more 5 stars. Anyway, I would love to hear if you have read any of these books, and I would love to know what you think of them down below. let's talk about it in the comments. Again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that way we can become Bookish besties. And I also have my Instagram, Goodreads, TikTok, all of that linked down below if you want to stay more up to date on what I'm doing, what I'm reading, what's going on over here. I also post a lot of puppy content on my Instagram stories, so if you want to see the cutest puppies in the entire world, definitely follow me there. Finally, please let me know in the comments, what has your favorite book of 2025 been so far? I am always looking for book recommendations, especially if we think they're going to be 5 stars. Please. That's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.